Once upon a time, there was a shooting star disguised straight into the dark forest, filling it with life and magic. We also see the living legend of Puss in Boots, that for every town he visited, everyone admired him, having parties full of people applauding non-stop with his singing and dancing. Everyone gave him money, drinks, and fun, seeing him about to die, to be burned, to be stabbed. He was crazy, but the people loved it. When out of nowhere came the governor, enraged because the cat destroyed his mansion. When he saw this, he ordered to cut off the head of the cat, who obviously didn't allow himself to be caught. And to the rhythm of the musicians, he stripped the governor naked and left him all embarrassed. But because of so much noise, he woke up a magical troll who went after the cat, creating chaos all over the place. This brought the troll down back into his knees, and while the people cheered him while they think the belt crushed the cat. When he woke up, he thought he had died, but in reality he was just at the doctor. His doctor told him that he had basically died. However, the hairy being explained that this was impossible. He had 9 lives, but he laughed at death. But when he was questioned how many times he had taken his life by accident, realized that he already had 8 deaths. So he only had 1 left. But if he was not careful or retired, he would be sent to his grave. But since he had no one left, the doctor told him to visit Mama Luna, an old lady who loved lap cats. But instead of going to visit Mama Luna, he went to the bar to have a glass of milk, when suddenly he heard a cold whistle. The lights fell and a fearsome wolf appeared, scaring the cat who was a bounty hunter. Obviously, the cat was brave and attacked, but the wolf quickly grabbed him and defeated him. About to kill him, and even drawing some blood, he fought for his life. He saw his life flash before his eyes, feeling fear for the first time. So frightened, he ran away down the drain, fleeing like a coward. And so he walked and walked until he got to Mama Luna's house, took his boots, his cape, and his hat, and buried them in the garden, leaving the legendary Puss in Boots to rest in peace. When he arrived at the house, the old lady received him, bathed him, feed him, combed his hair, and even put mittens on him, naming him Mr. Pickles, surrounded by other lap cats. The orange gentleman had no other choice but to stay there, eating and resting. He became so scruffy, so bored and appeased. He put on weight and even grew a little beard. Meanwhile, Goldilocks and the 3 bears were looking for him. They looked dangerous. While he was eating depressingly, a chihuahua, or something like that, spoke to him. It was a little dog with no name, who treated him quite well, since he wanted to be his friend, and was the only one that talked like him. He followed him around, pretending to be a cat, trying to cheer up the orange one, who was looking depressed. When suddenly, he felt a lot of danger. Goldilocks comes into the house and asks the old woman to give him the Puss in Boots. As the woman did not know what she was talking about, the bears tortured her. While the other cats were escaping and attacking the fat bears, Little Bear found the grave of Puss in Boots, thinking that he had died, that they were looking for him to find the Star of the Last Wish, that the map that led them to the star was in the possession of a certain Jack Horner who was quite dangerous, that when they left, the cat dug up his boots and hat and wanted to find that wish, because that way he could recover his knives and his dignity. Having said this, he went straight to the factory of the evil Jack Horner, realizing that the little dog had followed him there. Seeing that a couple of women had brought him this map, the big man had all kinds of magical artifacts, and when the big man went to turn a woman into pure gold for making fun of him, the cat took the opportunity to steal the map. But when he opened the box, he found Kitty, the kitten that we had seen in the first movie. He still wanted the map. Out of nowhere comes Goldilocks and the bears. So Horner realized that they were stealing, fighting for the map, and escaping from Horner and the huge bears, where Kitty managed to take the map with the orange feline, who managed to leave behind the others, fleeing from the guards with the little dog, and losing them by throwing gold coins to the villagers. Suddenly, his hair stood after he heard the hissing of the evil wolf. After this, the great Jack Horner packed all of his magical stuff, called in his 12 cooks, and went after the cats, who in the middle of the desert saw the magic of the map that sent them to the dark forest. However, they kept fighting because they did not trust each other. The Chihuahua tried to encourage them, talking and talking. It was too kind to be true, and when the bears and Horner went behind them, they arrived at magical forest. They went through the magical gate, and when they opened their eyes, they were in a colorful place. It seemed unreal, and after fighting to see who had the cutest, biggest eyes, they opened the map. When the forest became a hellish place, that when Kitty touched it, it was still dark, but when the dog touched it, everything became beautiful, full of life and joy. So they were gonna take Rito's way, hurrying up because the bears were coming behind them, suspicious because they thought Goldilocks wanted the wish for herself. Anyways, the cats and Perrito came to a place full of evil roses, trying to cut them down, but Perrito smelled them and admired them, letting the felines see that they should adore them and enjoy the moment, that way they could get by. That being said, they did so, and while Goldilocks and the others came from behind, they ran into Jack Horner, who attacked them on the road, getting stuck amongst the flowers, which at once once annihilated their cooks. The evil fat man took out of his bag a magical conscience. Remember, like the one from Pinocchio? Seeing how the madman took out a phoenix and began to burn everything. Anyways, the cat sailed along the river, where Puss begged Kitty to cut off his nasty beard, which gave him a lot of grief. And as she liked to be begged, she cut his fur, leaving him fresh as a daisy and giving away her dagger. But when he threw a stick, Perrito ran away, being caught by the great Jack Horner, as well as Goldilocks and the others fighting for the map. The cats fought without stopping, while Horner was killing his cooks, which was when the cat's hairs bristled and the wolf's whistle began to chase him. So he ran and ran away like a lamb, leaving behind his friends. That in the middle of the Black Forest, Perrito found him, feeling his heart beating strongly. That when he was calmed down, the cat told him what really tormented, that he was running for his life, that he wanted to use the wish to get back his life, that Kitty hated him for leaving her at the altar. When he heard this, the little dog recommended him to talk to her from his heart. Kitty heard this and treated him better without him knowing. The thing is, Goldilocks and the bears had the map, feeling very happy that they had found their cabin in the middle of the forest. Quite suspicious, since they felt very comfortable, thinking that it was a distraction. And even though Goldilocks thought it was a trap when she remembered childhood, everything didn't matter. Meanwhile, Kitty saved Puss in the tree, where he apologized for everything that had happened in the past. That for the first time, he was afraid of something. But she didn't take it badly, and admits that she didn't come either, leaving the cat stunned, not knowing that Jack Horner had them in his sights. The conscience tried to reason with Horner, but Horner told him that he always wanted all the magic world, that he was always ordinary, letting his true evil show, tossing the little cricket. Anyways, Perrito and the cats arrived at the bear's hut, who sneaked in to steal the map, something that Goldilocks noticed, going crazy when he saw the cats, letting out a lot of magic that suspends the floor and putting them to levitate, fighting without stopping, and in a strange way, they recovered the map and left the bears and Perrito behind. Feeling very panicky, they went and touched the map again. The pile of crystals trapped the cat, so he sent Kitty to rescue the puppy while he tried to get out of the crystal, facing the ghosts of his 8 past lives, all of which made him the living legend. And while the puppy dealt with the silly bears, he made Goldilocks and the bears finally reunite with the charisma and kindness of the crazy puppy. However, he got a little bit rude at points. Listen to this. This was my favorite part.
Oafus munching, mingy nugget, and yours.
The point is that Kitty saved him when Puss, remembering all his moments of glory and victory, still felt the loneliness and sadness that accompanied him throughout these years. And from the shadows, the wolf appeared, destroying his past souls and letting him see that for all these years he had been stalked, and in reality he was death and that he was coming for his soul, terrifying the furry cat, fleeing from the terror when Kitty and Perrito saw him fleeing. And as he brought the map, he arrived at the big star, that in the center of it, he let out all of the magic when Goldilocks lets out the truth, that all this time she wanted the wish to bring her to her real family, breaking all of the bears' heart. But even so, they supported her with everything, that when the cat was out to set his wish, Kitty arrived, which let her see that not only had he used them, but that he had no honor or heart. So he told her about his last life, but that did not stop her from leaving. But at that moment, they became surrounded by all the bad guys. That's how another battle began. The bears against the cats against the fat maniac. When out of nowhere, the map flew away. Between the magics and the blows, Jack Horner put the bears in danger, leaving the map up to Goldilocks. But she decided to save the bears than to make her wish, leaving the map with the evil maniac. But Kitty took care of him and threw him into his never-ending bag, leaving the wish up to Boots. When the whistle sounded and the wolf appeared, surrounding the cat, who upon seeing the map and his friends, saw his life flash before his eyes. He lost his fear and decided to fight for his last life. He fought and he fought, so much that the wolf was surprised. Puss knew that he would never defeat him, but for his life he would not stop. That said, the wolf put away his weapons and gave him another chance, since he saw that Puss had changed, warning him that they were going to meet again until death. And so he left. He was going to give the map to Kitty, but she told him that she never really wanted the map. When out of nowhere, Jack Horner appeared, bigger and bigger than ever, taking the map from him. And when he was about to recite the magic spell, Perrito stunned him with his tenderness and big eyes, giving the cats time to attack him. And together with the bears and Goldilocks, they broke the map, leaving the chubby man to sink into his wickedness. Puss fell in love again with Kitty, and they enjoyed the moment, just like Goldilocks did with the bears. Happy to have them back in her life. They said goodbye to the cats, and the cats officially named Perrito, well, Perrito. Together, they robbed corrupt governors, taking their ships with them, and they cast themselves far, far away to see some old friends. Wow, this was a great movie. Really entertaining. For once, after going months and months to the movies, I really didn't see anything that excited me. I got really bored, but this movie, I really loved it. It made me laugh, it had the music, the animation, everything. And I mean, it's not the typical DreamWorks movie, but I liked it. And how they connected all the story at the end with Shrek, just wow, what a great ending. It was a great movie. I think I give it a 9 out of 10. Any fan of Shrek or who had seen the Puss in Boots movie surely loved this one, which clearly is better than the first Puss in Boots movie, and I doubt anyone would say otherwise. That's all. Thank you for coming this far. And if you want to see more content like this, I recommend subscribing. Without further ado, send everyone a great big hug and keep following for the upcoming movie bites.